Alright, welcome. As you can see from the previous screenshot, we managed to win war number 2. So now we're 1-1 for the season, and we're off to war number 3. This time we get to bring the leader in. We're up against Node 1 thing. The main thing we're focused on here is the fact that we can reverse his regen. As soon as I saw the notification come on, I was like, oh wait, hold on, let me silence everything. Alright, so now we're back at it. The goal here is, I wasn't sure why I just stopped mid-combo, but that got really annoying, unnecessary damage. But the goal here is just to, do our combos, stack our debuffs so we can reverse the regen that he does get. And as long as we have 12 debuffs, since Thing is a science champion, we can block any unblockable attack. So for whatever reason we needed to block a special while he's unblockable, like we wanted to stay close to keep the regen stacking up, then yeah, we could do that. Although looking back at it, that probably would have been the better thing to do, because I do have the Resonate Mastery on to apply a weakness for an extra debuff. And between that and Inequity, Thing's attack rating is really low right now. So yeah, if I do this fight again, once I have enough debuffs to get the Steadfast to block unblockables, I would definitely just stay a lot closer to him so we can wrap the fight up even quicker. So once the regen stack, like if you've used Leader in the current Battlegrounds meta, he can just melt guys. Once you get like 5-6 regens, your fight's pretty much over. Alright, so we made it through there. Like I said, we took that unnecessary hit because we just stopped mid-combo. So I pop a potion just to top him up. And now we're going into the Wong fight. The only part that sucks with Wong is his healing can't be reversed, so the fight will be a bit longer. And luckily, since Wong is a mystic, as long as the leader gets 4 debuffs, then I can block his unblockable attacks. This node also has Masochism, so he will purify a debuff here and there. And plus Wong has the ability to we already covered the unblockable part. While he's under a regen effect, he goes unblockable. So we're not going to start off with a parry, since that would trigger the regen and unblockable. We want to bait out a heavy, and then after that we punish his second heavy. Like I said, I have the Resonate Mastery on, so as you can see I have 3 out of the 4 debuffs I need to block unblockable hits, and now I have all 4. And unfortunately we can't reverse the regen, we can just stop it from occurring. But slow and steady will win the fight. So the goal here is just to keep our debuffs up, bait out whatever specials will heavy if he gets to over 90 of his charges. Like I said, at that point I forgot about the Masochism, and so yeah, my reparry was off. We fire our SP1 to create some spacing, which is actually something I do like about Leader's special one. Most champs, when you fire the SP1 while the opponent is blocking, it doesn't really move the defender back. I don't know if that's intentional. If not, Kabam, forget I said anything. But yeah, Leader can actually move the defender back, which is like very helpful, especially when you're cornered. So like I said, we're just stacking our SP1s. And then I'm starting to think, okay, I want to get an SP2 going, so that way the Wither can reverse his power gain, and in case he's like at 2 bars of power and decides to throw a heavy, we can prevent him from going into SP3. So now we got our 2 bars of power. We're gonna combo, throw our SP2, get our Wither up. So now we're not too worried if he does like heavy or the Mystic Dispersion power gain. We can reverse that and stop his regen as well. So we're going back to spamming SP1s, we're building some Fury. This isn't your typical ideal leader rotation, otherwise we would have been playing more so on the left side of the screen, keeping him closer to the door. But for all purposes here, we're just mainly here just to shut down regen and power gain. And so yeah, we'll leave it at that. We go for a striker, go into a combo. I think 1 SP1 should finish it from here. And lo and behold, it works. So we can definitely clean up that fight, definitely get it done a lot quicker. Same with the Thing fight. The fight wasn't horrible, but we can definitely get it a lot quicker if we optimize playing to reverse regen. Okay, now we're switching to path 9, so I ended up changing my masteries to the full recoil tree. So full double edge, liquid courage, recoil, the works. Alright, so we have this Longshot here. It's power focus 2. Iceman is immune to both the cold snap and the poison from the node. So the plan here is just push him to SP2. Don't push him to SP3 because I know he has a stun there. And plus, even if, you know, even if I did push him to SP3, more than likely he would nullify my ice armor right before we got there, and I'd take the full damage and be stunned at the same time. Okay, so we're all running the Scorpion synergy, which is supposed to increase Iceman's crit rate while the opponent's suffering from the cold snap. And as you can see, I did like 8 hits and got like 3 crits. So the RNG for that was not in my favor. So just notice power focus 2, hit him a little bit more. And we took that on the block so I can get an idea of how much would the SP2 do to me. I tried swiping back here, but it didn't work for whatever reason. So we're here, baiting another SP2. We make sure to dodge that one because that was too much damage, and I'm like, oh man, that's a whole nother potion right there. And since we're running the recoil tree, my only goal here is just to SP3 spam, at least for this fight. Now that time we crit on 4 out of 5 hits. So yeah, the last few times we got 6 out of 7 hits to crit, so that was really good RNG. Scorpion synergy helped there, but as you can see in the beginning, not so much. Oh, you gotta love the Kabam RNG. Alright, now we have Aarkus. We're gonna apply a vulnerability boost, because just in case the power gain does get out of hand and he goes to SP3, we'll be safe. Only problem is, since he's a tactic defender, and if he does do SP3, he'll be unblockable afterwards. But this node does have one eye open, so we can't parry unless we want to take damage back. So, and as you can see, I only crit once there. Okay, there was 3 out of 5, so that was better. It's like the longer the cold snap goes on, the better your damage. He does SP1, so we go ahead and detonate the frostbite passives we currently have on him. And as long as he's generous with the SP1, we'll be very happy. And the armor breaks are feeding our willpower healing, helping to keep us topped off. Frostbites are expiring, we're going in, and Aarkus is down. Fight went very smoothly, really quick, and I'm happy with it. I can definitely see it going out of hand, especially if Aarkus gets all passive and doesn't want to throw special. So I can definitely see that happening. Alright, and now we have one more fight, which is this Bullseye mini-boss. And it's taken me a long time to actually get to the guy, so my plan here is actually to restart my game once things kind of chill. So we go ahead, we do that, now we're back in the game again. Because I'm like, I do not want that to be a sign of, hey, you enter this fight and the game disconnects. Or you win the fight, game disconnects, doesn't register your win. But it registers the fact that you lost half your health and, you know, you get a loss or death in a sense. But here we are, node 44 Bullseye. It's Rupture, Poison, Hazard Shift, Stun Immune. We're going to have a Power Start 1 boost. Goal here is to keep our cold snap up so Bullseye can't evade ideally. And we attack during the poison phase. Rupture, we play keep away or we hit into his block. So here he's not giving me an opening. He's either doing a full combo into my block or he's hitting a couple of times and backing away. But you know, the one combo, 1 SP1, the guy's down 20% of his health right now. I would have loved to have detonated that if I could. But now that he's in the rupture phase, we're just hitting his block. Keeping spacing, playing keep away. You know, we're 8 hits in and Bullseye already lost 38% of his health. I have only taken hits into the block and I've lost over 20% of my health. But I did do 2 special ones, so the recoil did eat about half of that. But things are going pretty well, you know. Rupture phase, so we play keep away. I really want to learn to get the timing down to actually parry the hits on the SP1 to really minimize my damage. So we're back in the poison phase, throw another SP1. Use our striker. Since he can't evade, we'll just keep comboing to the end, and there we go, Bullseye is down. So this has been my war, you know, 4 path fights, 1 mini, because it's my first time in Master, so we're deathless so far, which is pretty cool. So hey, thank you guys for tuning in, and you already know how this goes. Tune in for the next video if you want to see how it ends. Peace.
That's all, folks.